Welcome to Worthington Home. I'm Chris. Well, it is a rainy, yucky day, but that's okay because we are headed to a thrift store I haven't been to before in Meriden, Connecticut, and I can't wait to show it to you. So let's check it out. Okay, we have some interesting things outside. I bet there would be more if the weather wasn't so yucky. And some nice old sleds. And some furniture coming up the ramp. I like these tables with the leaves that go up. I have one in my laundry room. Here are some bins of records. Buy one, get one free. I could look through records for an age. They have lots of them here. All right, let's check out the store itself. Okay, we've got some canes and a nice collection of costume jewelry. That would be fun to go through. And bins full of old toy cars and some Barbies. All kinds of little treasures for kids right there. And some more jewelry. This place is a lot bigger than I thought it was when I saw it just from the outside. There's lots of little figurines and trinkets on these shelves. This is an interesting little piece. I cannot read that. It's too small for me. Nice collection of glass bottles. I like the George Washington one here in the back. How much is that? $8. Not bad. I'll have to think about George. In this case, you can see there are all kinds of things, lots of different kinds of video games for all different kinds of devices. Oh, I love these Atari games. Oh my gosh, I want to play Atari right now. Lots and lots of DVDs in this section. And some books and some VHS tapes. Wow, lots of stuff. Here's a whole section of board games. The Chutes and Ladders game looks really old. Yeah, that's an old guy for sure. Something about old games always appeals to me. This is a really cute Doug and Melissa wooden horse stable toy. $15. I love 8-track cassettes. They just crack me up. I don't know why. Lots of DVDs. Love Tinker Toys. Don't see a price on that one, but it might have just fallen off. I know this guy. Cute little ducks. $3. You have lots of great glasses. Some of these are really mid-century modern, like those. Really fun. Makes me want to have a Mad Men party. I love this card catalog. Anything old library always gets my attention. And there's a little collection of cats. Oh, it's so cute. The ones up top remind me a little bit of my iris. Here's some pretty eggs. Those would be nice for Easter. They have so many comics here. There's just boxes and boxes of them. You could go through these for ages. And there's little action figures, like little Marvel figures here. This is quite a collection of old phones. I like Mickey, but Dr. Seuss is good too. And I think Goofy is my favorite, probably because he's napping. Here's some great old cameras. $40 for this old guy. Seems like a reasonable price, although I'm not a camera expert. Some pretty boxes here. This one's nice. I think this was from the Bombay collection. Does anybody remember that old store? I used to love that store. $12. Very reasonable. Lots of old ashtrays. I don't know what attracts me to old ashtrays. I'm not a smoker, but there's something about them. I don't know the shape of them or the utility of them. They always get my attention. They have some nice colors here. I think my neighbor had one very similar to that. And this one, I don't know if it's like a little souvenir ashtray. The alligator. It's kind of interesting. $13. Seems reasonable for an alligator ashtray. And here are some different kinds of bottle openers. This store has it all. I like these glass jars. I'm not really sure what they're for or what I would use them for, but they have a really nice shape. I bet my cats would break them in about 5 seconds, but they're $10. Very reasonable. Here's some glass floral arrangements. I'm always amazed when those things survive. They're so delicate. Old Victorian looking lamp. And here's a little appliance section full of waffle makers and all kinds of other things. Oh, salad spinner. Love me a salad spinner. Here's a whole basket full of like glass fruit or ceramic fruit. $25 for all of that, which is a really good price. Here's some Polish pottery. I love Polish pottery. I don't have any, but I love the colors and patterns of them. These are really nice. This mug is $15. Here's a cute tea set. A really pretty color blue on that pot. Very different. Here we have lots and lots of uranium glass. $20 for that oval dish. Down here we have some Depression era divided plates or grill plates. Elegant Depression glass. This plate is $12. Love the shape of this piece. It reminds me of something that I would have seen in the auction I recently went to in East Windsor. They had lots of beautiful glass. It's a really nice piece. Only $16 seems extremely good price. Oh, and this is really pretty as well. I love the shape of it. Of course, blue is my favorite color. Only $10. Nice. Wow, lots and lots of glassware to look at here in all different colors. There's so many pretty pieces here, and they're all really well priced. This must be the Pyrex section. This whole grouping was only $20, which seemed like a great price. I didn't look closely to see the condition, so I'm not sure what that was like. And up on the top shelf, there's lots of interesting thermoses and things. And more Pyrex pieces. I like this one. $30. I know someone who collects Fiesta ware. This is a nice assortment of it. The colors are so cheerful. This is interesting. It's made of plastic. It's very light. Let's say Woodbine. Never saw it before. $2. Can't argue with that. Oh, I love this enamelware pitcher. $15. That's very good. It doesn't seem to have any kind of flaws in it at all. Here's some great old tins. That Lipton tin looks like something I've seen before in my childhood. There's lots of really good ones. Here's another enamelware piece. Very nice. $8. There's lots of salt and pepper shakers. There's so many good ones. I don't even know which ones are my favorites, to be honest. I like these grated cheese guys. Or maybe I just like grated cheese. That's possible too. I've never seen these in person before, these Pyrex baby bottles. They're in their original containers, which is really neat. 20 cents these were in their day. And here they are. So interesting. Boil me, chill me, see if I care. $8. That's very, very neat. Oh, I love this white and red enamelware cake holder. Oh my gosh. That is really nice. I love the color combination. I usually like white and black, but that is a fabulous piece. Here's another one that doesn't look quite as old to me. Very good condition. We had this Tupperware container when I was a kid, $5. This is a great clock. We actually have this clock in green at my house. This is a section full of just hardware things, some like lawn care stuff, some do-it-yourself projects, all different kinds of things like that. You can see some doorknobs and light switch covers. Yeah, this isn't the space for me, but if you've got some home improvement projects going down, you might find exactly what you need in this section. These are interesting. This one looks old. Is that a sander? $15. I'm not really sure. I'm not up on my power tools, friends. I do apologize. It is not my forte. I just wanted to be sure to show you all of the spaces in this great store. It's a nice pitcher and bowl set. $16. Wow. It's amazing. I might be obsessed with this set of canisters and little spice jars. It is beautiful. I absolutely love them. $50 for the whole set is an unbelievable deal. I only wish I had space for it in my kitchen. Let's see, where were they made? In Czechoslovakia. Gorgeous. It might be my favorite thing in the store. Here are some great little vintage bags, some beaded bags. This one's $24. This satin one with flowers is cute. $6. Here is a very large Budweiser beer advertising mirror. It's not facing the correct way for you to see it, but trust me, it is big. And here a collection of some other bags. Such a variety in this store. It really is unbelievable how many different kinds of things are here, and it's all so organized. I think this is McCoy. It's quite a nice collection of it. $18 for that big canister. They're all priced separately, but all priced very well. That's a cute little teapot in copper. Has kind of a nice modern line to it that's interesting. Let me see how much this costs. I have to put it down to check the price tag. It is $18. Very cute piece. Here's some more costume jewelry, lots of fun earrings. And inside are where the really good record albums are. There's tons and tons of them on tables. And I saw some really nice ones just with a quick look. So I bet you could find some gems if you took your time. I like these paperweights, especially that green swirly one. I don't collect them, but I think they're lovely. And here's some other glass pieces. More enamelware. This is like an enamelware collector's dream. There's a lot of really good pieces here. This one, I can't see the price. Got a little chip, not a big deal. And this small container was, I think it was $6. Not bad at all. Here's another one. I don't think I've ever seen so much of it in one store before. Here's some really nice big copper pots. $35 for that big pot. That's incredible. I like this sort of coal scoop one. $90. I mean, you know, they sell for quite a bit in a nice little snack container. Okay, so this is the owner, Steve.
Hi.
Hi, Steve has an awesome store. Steve, is there anything that you would say to people who are thinking about coming here?
Well, we have a lot of interesting items. We tried not to be like anybody else when we decided to open our consignment store. Mm-hmm. We believe in pure transparency with our consigners. We just try to do our best really to take care of people.
That's awesome. And I have to say, I really appreciate that you have nice, clear prices, and your prices are super fair.
Yeah, I think
so. We're
not the shoreline.
No, and thank you for not being the shoreline.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. I'm so glad I stopped there. So instead of going home and taking care of all of the things that need my time and attention like a good girl, I ended up at a Salvation Army looking to thrift like a bad girl. So I'm at Salvation Army in Newington. I've never been here before. So let's check it out. Okay, let's see what's inside. Oh, I can already tell that the items are color coordinated. But first, I'll just check out these sweaters. They're nice, but there's nothing that I feel the need to take home with me. Now for the good stuff. Let's check out the home decor. Well, that's a happy little mug. That's a pretty frame. Wood, actually, painted green. $2.99. This is a cute piece as well. I like that. $8.99 is more than I want to pay for it, though. Here's a pretty tin container. TJ Maxx. These are cute glasses, but they're pretty scratched up. I thought this plate had a great geometric design on it. Primastone or Primastone, Noritake. And here is a cow head. There's always some kind of an interesting piece when I come to stores like this, and that might be the best one of the day. Pie plate. I always get a pie plate. I don't think I've seen pecan pie before. Here's an old souvenir plate. Appomattox, Virginia. Oh, and this is a nice religious scene. Looks like there's some hand-painted details. $2.99. I know this plate. I know this plate very well. There's some pretty teacups. Very nice. Beautiful cut glass platter, $5.99. This is nice. This looks like Lenox. And it is $6.99. This is an interesting mug. I really like the shape of it, especially the handle. Francoma, I think it says. And I've seen these before. $2.99. There's some nice cocktail glasses or rocks glasses. And some very pretty teacups. I like that flower inside. $1.99. This is an interesting planter. $4.99. Has an interesting kind of detail on the glazing. And some Norman Rockwell glasses. That looks like the white milk glass I have at home in my eBay store. This is a pretty set. Don't want to break anything. $12.99 for this stack. Here are some platters. I like the design on this one. Very pretty. Hoffman? Something like that. $5.99. Pretty. I like the shape of it. There's some napkin holders. $1.99 each. I like this covered vegetable dish. $19.99 is more than I want to pay. Made in Japan. And this is gorgeous. This piece looks like Limoges, but it has this big chip in it. What a shame. Yep, Limoges, $5.99. That would have made my day if it hadn't been for the chip. It's so hard to keep these things in good shape. Like the flower pattern on this plate, $5.99. It's not marked in any way. And here's another platter that's very pretty with the flower design. Royal Sovereign Blush Rose, $5.99. Here is the silver plate section. Some nice things here. This pewter candlestick is $3.99. I think these must have held some kind of a little glass mug or something. Here's the basket section. I like this one. That's really nice. I love the pattern and the colors on that. It's a good piece. $8.99, I think. Oh my goodness, this little wicker set is adorable. Oh my gosh, if I had a child in my life who would play with those, I would snag them. I think I had this when I was a kid, actually. It is ringing a bell. It's so funny because it's a coaster on one side and then there's like a little area for snacks on the other, but it's missing some handles or some little pulls, which is a shame. Yeah, that's the 60s, late 60s, early 70s piece, $4.99. Too bad it's damaged. These brass candlesticks are really nice. Yeah, very pretty. There's so much to look at. It's sometimes hard to take it all in. This bud vase is nice. I have one like it at home, and it is from Pier 1. And this is that time in my vlog when I have to say, I sure do miss Pier 1. Interesting owl in a green color, perfect for spring. Not marked, $11.99. That's a pretty little vase. Not familiar with the marking. $2.99. Ah, I have this tray. It's so funny. I'm seeing so many familiar items today. This one is made in Japan, and it is $7.99. That is funny. This is a lovely pitcher. I think this is carnival glass, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be. So heavy. $14.99. Believe it or not, they sell for much less on eBay. Here's a great old toaster. This looks like it's maybe from the 30s. Wow, that is really fun. And it's got this cloth cord and a Bakelite plug. I wonder what the price is on this. I'll check out all the details. Made by GE. I wonder if it still works. I'd be afraid to plug it in. Here's the price tag, $29.99. Again, these sell for much less on eBay. Okay, this looks like a psychedelic banana, but I think the shape is really interesting. It is $19.99. I think reupholstered, this could be quite a statement piece in the right house. And here is an assortment of Zara clothing. I saw that at the last Salvation Army I was in, but I'm confused by the prices because it looks like the price tags are actually Zara's price tags. So I wonder what Salvation Army is selling them for. Quite a lot. Oh, there's a conversion chart that explains it. Okay, I just got home and Iris is with me. Say hi. Say hi, Iris. I had an interesting time. So my first stop was Timeless Consignment in Meriden, Connecticut. It was a really good store. I have to say, it's a store that has something for everyone, and I hope you could see that by the footage that I took. They had lots of records. They had DVDs and VHS tapes. They had all different kinds of video games. They had board games. They had glassware, they had china, they had copper pieces, cookware, gardening tools, sports equipment, vintage handbags, you name it, they had it. Costume jewelry, lots of stuff. And what was really different from most stores like that I go to is the aisles were totally clear, so you could really very easily walk. And let me tell you why that's important. Because I'm gonna say something I don't think I've ever said before on this channel. And that is, this is a store you could take a child to, which, you know, you don't usually say about an antique store, a consignment store, a thrift store necessarily. But there were lots of things for a child to look at. And because the aisles are kind of wide, there wasn't like that constant worry about breaking things that you might have in other places. So like pretty close to the door, there were like bins full of like old Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. And a child could just sit there and play with those for ages, or they could go find a stack of Pokemon cards and just go through those for the longest time while mom or dad gets to do some shopping, which is a really nice thing. I know my son could definitely have been easily entertained there, even as a pretty small child, for at least an hour. It was the kind of store I probably would have had to like drag him out of because he would have wanted to keep looking at things. There were also, okay, so this is maybe not appropriate to say, but also like a lot of things you could bribe a small child with. Like you could say like, okay, if you let mommy shop, then, you know, you can pick out one Matchbox car, and you would have paid like $1 and had some peace for a little bit of time and had been able to look around at things. So if you have a well-behaved child and you want to go to a thrift store, consignment store, you want to do your thing, that's a really good one to pick. Aside from that, actually I spoke to the owner, Steve, who was really, really nice and so kind to even appear on camera. And I want to mention, when I first came into the store, I'm always like uneasy when I walk into a store with my video, and I'm like, don't want to bother anybody. And the manager saw me right off, and he's like, take as much video as you like. The more video you take, the better. Just make yourself right at home. He didn't have to say that. That was really nice of him to do, because then I didn't have to feel like covert. I could just kind of do my thing without like worrying about it. And there weren't a lot of people in the store at that time. I was there really early. So it was nice to just freely do my thing without having to, be like undercover. The owner was really fun to talk to, really friendly guy. And one of the things he told me that I loved was that he said there's a lot of regulars who like to come back, who have like autism or like a traumatic brain injury, and they'll come with their caregivers, and they enjoy just like going through all of the jewelry, and they'll just do that for ages, or they'll go through some of the Pokemon cards and just do that for ages. And sometimes even like someone will call in advance and say that they're coming, and could they please like turn the music down a little. I mean, the music wasn't overly loud, but sometimes there are individuals with disabilities who are really sensitive to sound, and the store will gladly make those kinds of accommodations, which I think is great. I think that's really nice. And you could see that Steve took pride in the fact that that was a safe place for people to go and have a nice time and feel comfortable in the setting, and, just enjoy looking at all of the different objects in the store. So I took shots of a wide variety of things. I tried to capture some price tags so you could get a sense of it. The prices were extremely fair, in my opinion. There weren't a lot of things that I could resell, but that's a good thing. And I've said this before about some other places. That tells me that the owner is fair to the consigners, he's fair to himself, and he's fair to his customers. Things are priced as they should be. So there wasn't a lot of reselling opportunity, but that's not the point of a consignment store. The point of a consignment store is to sell goods to the public. So if you want a store with a lot of variety of items, good prices, and a friendly owner, you would do really well to stop off at that store. Now, interestingly, I didn't buy anything, but that wasn't because there weren't good things to buy. Right now, I just have so much stuff to process. I still have lots of things that I need to list on eBay. I have things that are waiting to sell that I'm storing. My husband and I are in the middle of a clean out, and we're processing lots of items from there. So there were some things that were tempting, and if I were in a different place in my life in terms of like having all this stuff under control, I would have picked up a couple of things. I have to say I was very tempted by the enamelware. I really like white enamelware, and there were some pretty pieces for good prices. And there was actually, I don't know if you saw it in the footage, there was like a George Washington like green bottle, for some reason was calling my name. But today, for today, I was like, I'm just looking. I will definitely go back to that store, and in a buying frame of mind, I'm sure I will do a little damage to my wallet. By the way, for my Connecticut friends or my New England friends who may decide to visit the store, and I hope you do, if you decide to go, please send me a comment and let me know what you picked up. I would be so interested to hear from you. And also, as an aside, if you have something that you want to consign, if it's something the owner can use and feels he can sell, that might be a nice outlet for you to make a couple of bucks off of something that you don't want anymore. Just an idea. So after Timeless Consignment, I was very naughty and went to a Salvation Army store I haven't been to before. Naughty because I needed to be home getting some other things done. But I was just, sometimes you get bitten by that thrifting bug and you just have to see it through. So I went to Salvation Army in Newington, and I came back with nothing. And again, I'm not really in a shopping mindset today, so that's a true story. First of all, let me say it was a really nice store, very clean, very organized, no chaos there at all. It was very well put together. things that they had listed were actually listed higher than you would buy them on eBay. I mean, things that sold on eBay, because I always look for the things that were sold, not the things that are listed. So for instance, there was an old toaster that they wanted. I think it was marked for $29. It was a cool little piece. It sold for $24 to $25 on eBay consistently. There was, what else? There was a little vase that I liked. I think was like $8.99 or something, and it was selling for like $6 or $7 on eBay. There were a couple of things I looked up and they were all selling lower than they were marked at Salvation Army. Like, what is up with that? But in general, I would say it was pretty picked over. And when you go to a thrift store like that, you know, it's only as good as the most recent things that have been donated. So it can be a little bit hit or miss. And I think, you know, you could go another day and there would be more things available. The clothes looked interesting. I didn't take the time to go through the clothes. There was nothing that really caught my eye in terms of handbags. There were lots of shoes I did not look at. But in my opinion, when a thrift store like a Goodwill or a Salvation Army are priced higher than what things sell for on eBay, yeah, something is amiss. I won't be going back to that store, but I'm glad I got to check it out. And again, I give them full kudos for cleanliness and organization. They were definitely on top of it. And you could see they had, at least it seemed to me, they had sufficient employees to take care of the things that needed staff attention, which is a nice thing to see. After I left Salvation Army, I stopped off at Dunkin' Donuts for a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna get a little bit of work done around the house, and I've got lots of things on the docket tonight. We're still working on an estate sale, an estate clean out, which has been you know, an ongoing project for a couple of days, and I'll be sharing that journey with you. So stay tuned for that. And until then, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. And I really hope to see you next time. Until then.